All right, guys. Welcome to an episode of we're gonna introduce our producer, our music producer, who produced the music bits of our podcast and helps us with sound engineering of the podcast. So
What helps us, we basically mean he does it for us.
yeah, because we're terrible at editing. So, well, but yeah, this is Del. Hi, Del. How you doing?
Hi guys, thanks for having me.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Oh yes, I'm Zel. It's my producer name. My real name is Denzel. I'm a producer. I make music, but I mostly do it in my free time. By trade, I'm a biologist. I guess I studied biology, but music is really one of my passions. I spend a lot of time doing it in my free time, including producing for other people, such as you guys.
Nice.
So,
When did you start dabbling in music?
So actually, I started like quite young. I went to piano lessons when I was I don't know, 6 years old or something like that.
Whoa.
And yeah, I don't remember exactly when, but maybe older. But yeah, I went for like 3 years, but I never really liked it. It was more like my parents making me go because they were like, "Oh, it's good for you to do something like that," and I guess it was because I'm still doing music.
Yeah.
But
They were
yeah, exactly. So yeah, no, after 3 years I stopped because I never practiced. I never really liked it, but I did have a very good ear for music, and that I noticed later. And eventually, like when I was 14 or something, I started like making music on a computer with FL Studio and producing music and just like messing around. And I mean, I barely remembered anything I learned like many years ago, and I didn't know anything of music theory, so it was just making this horrible trash, but it was fun. It was fun, and yeah, I just kept doing it. Basically, just kept making a whole bunch of trash until eventually it started to make sounding a little okay. And then I also realized during that process, like, hey, actually playing piano is handy if I'm going to make music. So then I started like messing around on the piano again, and then I realized, oh my god, this is actually really fun. Why did I stop like all those years ago? And then I like completely went deep dive into piano and every single day, hours and hours for like 3 years, and I got really good. And then like at the same time as doing that, I also like kept producing, and yeah, so I've been basically doing that for since quite a few years already till now. And that's more or less how it started, like as like just as for fun, and I guess it still is a little bit for fun, although doing it a little bit more with people now. But I also did it a lot with friends, so started learning music together with friends as well, so that also helped kept keeping it fun. And yeah, I've been doing
but
it ever since.
were you already messing around creating trash with friends in high school, or was that later?
Yeah, no, it's yeah, in high school, like like in second, third grade, I guess we started like messing around. So I was like 14, 15 years old, something like that. And yeah, so I started learning a little bit of producing and I guess piano, and I had friends who played guitar, and so we also like came together to jam. But it was
yeah.
a bit bad at the beginning, of course, but then it progressively got better. I actually had like a little bit of a music break from like because I came to the Netherlands to study from the Curacao, and I basically didn't really do much with music for like a few years. And then I started again like actively because I did it like every now and then, every few months I did a little bit, not really much because I was really more focused on my study and other things I was doing. But then I started working with Juni Martina, the rapper artist, and he came to me like, "Hey, dude, let's start making stuff together." I'm like, "Oh yeah, sure, I produce. Like, I'm doing stuff here and there. So yeah, let's do something." And from there on, then like when I started working with him, and then like I really like went full back into it and doing it like so much more than I used to be doing it before, and buying all the equipment and speakers and blah blah, and just like completely into it. I'm still into it right now.
Well, then it really paid off.
Is that?
Good
Yeah,
investment.
definitely.
And what were your thoughts on the song that we sent you? Because we had a specific song that we chose.
As inspiration.
Said that
Make it sound
inspired.
something like this.
Basically.
Yeah.
And that was from I Want You Around from
Snow Allegra.
Allegra. Yeah, I don't know exactly how to pronounce her name. But that song, like we had that on repeat for weeks when we were like preparing stuff, and I was like, this is exactly the sound that we want, our podcast vibe to be. And we're like, okay, let me let us send Zelda a song and see what he thinks. And what did you think? Like, how did that
Yeah,
happen?
yeah. I mean, I know the artist. I've listened to her before, not like a lot, but I've listened to her work before. And when I listened to them, like, huh, I can do that. Like, because I generally really like this like jazzy or like lo-fi type of music. I've been really into it like the last year, I guess. I've been really listening to it a lot and trying to make it myself as well. So when I listened to it, I'm like, oh, that's perfect. Like, this is generally what I also like to make. So it was it was very easy to like get inspiration from that to like turn it into the tracks I ended up making.
What were your
Yeah.
process? Like,
Oh yeah, how did you even start? Because this is something that the way it went on our side was just, here is a song that we want you to use as inspiration, and then you were like, yeah, okay, listen to these things that I made in the meantime while I create something else.
yeah.
And we listened to it, we're like, okay, sounds good, like we have the right person. But we didn't do anything else, and then you came with 3 music pieces,
Yeah.
some of them consisting of a start and then a second part at the end. So I think it was around 5. We're like, whoa, how did you come up with
Yeah,
5
because
different things?
it was so different from our experience with our cover art artist.
Yeah,
Because we were in constant contact, and
she was asking us so many questions.
that like to lead to the perfect like creation of our art, which was great.
Mhm.
But like with you, it was like, oh, okay, sure, I'll have something for you next week, and then you did. It's like,
Yeah.
Are you sure? Do you not have more questions for us? I mean, so we were really interested in what your process was.
Yeah, no, that's funny because now that you mention it, I'm like, maybe I should have asked more questions. But yeah, I guess I mean I also like listen to other podcasts, and I know I have a little bit of an idea of what a podcast theme should sound like, I think. And I mean, and I'm when I'm making music, if I get inspired, I can make like that's actually a problem that I have, that I come up with so many ideas and never finish any of them. Like making a project, I'm like, oh wait, this is a great idea. Let me start a new one. I'll come back to that one later, and then I start one. Like that's basically how I tend to do things, which is not very good actually. But
But
with
I mean,
this,
it's perfect because we ended up with 5.
yeah, because I was remembering you guys mentioning that you wanted something like for an intro, and you maybe thought of also doing something like for in the middle, like for transitions and stuff like that. So I thought, okay, so I should have at least like 2 ideas. And then I thought, but maybe if I produce this thing and you don't like it, then it's good to have a backup idea. And that's why I ended up making a bunch of tracks, because I thought if I have like different ideas, all sounding a little different, then you have more like things to choose from. And basically, with the first song, which I guess is the introduction of the podcast, that's the first one I started with. That was really like, okay, let me listen to this Snow Laker song, and like, okay, so that's more like the electric piano type of sound. So I guess I also started with something a little similar to that, and then slowly but surely I changed it and changed the instruments and altering a little bit, and then I came up with that idea, and I like that one. And then I'm like, okay, that's a good one. And then I had the beatbox idea in my head, and I thought, okay, let's try to do a beatboxing thing. So then I opened a new project, and then I loaded up some instruments, and I opened up like this instrument package with like drums, bass, and everything already set. And then I just like started messing around with the instruments to get an idea. And then I came up with a second track, which was completely different from the beatbox idea that I had. I started making that, and then I'm like, okay, this is not the original idea, and I don't know if you guys are going to use this, but it's so cool. Let me just make it and see what happens. And then I ended up doing that one, and then I went to the beatbox final idea, and yeah, that one was cool. And then I kept switching in between them and like changing them here and there. And then I'm like, okay, you have to like at least one of these, I hope, because they're all sounding like podcast-y. And at least 2 of them were like a little similar to what you guys sent me as well. So and then you ended up liking all of them, so that was funny.
Yeah.
So it was basically like cool to have all these bits that you can just play with the podcast episodes as well, because then it doesn't like, it sounds different, a little bit different every time. And I like that. I do like using all those different sounds, because it does affect the mood in a way, I feel.
Yeah,
it's really cool.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, it was also really cool to listen to a podcast, that's published, and then like, oh my god, I made that. Like, it's always great to listen back to hearing how your input
Yeah.
is resulted in like a cool
Yeah.
project for other people to listen to as well. It's always
Yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I think it's just so awesome that, which is funny because like I had only met you like a week or two before like we started planning all of these things for the
Mm,
podcast. It was just hilarious because it's like everything just like falling into place in
Yeah.
that sense because it was the perfect like combination for our music bit. So that was so funny how that works out, honestly.
yeah, I mean, like it was really a coincidence. So like imagine if you didn't meet me, like I wonder
Yeah,
how it would turn out or what would you end up with.
because I had no
Yeah.
idea who else I would ask. Like I don't
Yeah.
know.
We were even thinking, okay, because of course you want to be prepared. So we're like, okay, this is plan A. What's plan B? We're like, I literally know
I
nobody
don't
else.
know.
So I hope plan A works out.
Works out, and it did. So we're really grateful for that. Oh wait, I have a question. Wait.
Yeah, go
Where do
ahead.
you see yourself going with music, or like
That's a
music
good
in general?
question. So I mean
Do you see yourself?
generally, yeah, so generally I mean I love doing it for myself. Like just the process of making music, like coming up with ideas and then like really perfecting it. And I'm also a little bit of a perfectionist. I spend a lot of time like tweaking and making sure it sounds absolutely as perfect as possible, which is also a bit of a problem because sometimes you just feel like, okay, this is good enough. But it just like the whole
Yeah.
process is like really enjoyable for me. So in a way, I'm like, if I never do anything like serious with it, I don't mind because for me it's already like good enough just doing it, listening back to the thing I made and be like, oh my god, I made that shit, you know, this
Yeah.
that's already good enough for me. But I do want to like either start producing for more people when I have the time, or maybe start like a social media thing, like a YouTube channel. So for
Ooh,
example,
cool.
I teach in my like in my spare time as well, and I like doing that, and I also sometimes like helping other people with their musical projects. And I realized like I'm generally good at it as well, and I like doing it. So maybe I can also start making like, I don't know, tutorials or like make beats and like show my process and give ideas for why I do certain things and try to explain it in a friendly way and see where I can end up doing that. But that's something more in a little bit more in the future.
I guess one thing that we didn't mention that we did mention about ourselves is that we're from Aruba and we were born there, lived there until we were 18, and then both of us moved to the same city,
Hmm.
Maastricht in the
Mm.
Netherlands. But then how was like very shortly, where were you born? Where did you live? And
What was your experience at
yeah,
moving here and stuff?
Yeah, I guess similar to what you guys experienced as well. I mean, I was born in Curacao, born and raised there till also when I was 19 in my case. And then I came to The Hague to study, and I studied at Leiden University, so in Leiden. And yeah, I mean, I've been living in The Hague ever since. So I never really moved out of The Hague. I've moved within The Hague. I've moved several times, but I'm still living in The Hague. And
and
no,
how long have you lived in The Hague?
sorry.
How long have you lived in The Hague or in the Netherlands?
Yeah, so I've been living here 8 years. Yeah, 8 years. This is the 8th year.
Are you like planning on staying there for a while, or do you have other plans?
I would like to. I would not mind moving out. I like to experience something different. So
Mm.
it would be nice to go. Just like it was nice actually to go from Curacao to come here. It was like an amazing learning experience in general. Like so many
Mm.
cool things I've experienced the last few years. But it's also cool to relive that again a little bit to go somewhere else. But we'll have to see. Depends on what's gonna happen the next few months. We'll have to see what where I might end up. Maybe I'll stay here for another year or two. Who knows? But it would be cool to move somewhere else as well.
Thank you for letting us
And,
ask you questions.
yeah, I was gonna say interview, but this is
Oh, yeah, technically. But it feels weird to say interview because you're like our friends. So
and
we're
also
gonna.
we can't ask proper questions apparently.
I think we did a really good job.
Thank you, then.
Yeah, thank you. I hope to hear back from for the job offer if I got a position or not. I'm just kidding.
Well, you technically did.
Technically,
You're
I already have,
producers.
yeah. Get the job first, interview later. No, but thank you
Right.
for having me. It's very nice, of course. Always nice talking to you guys.
Yeah, we wanted people to know who was behind the making of all of your links again, as in every other episode or video that we make is also going to be in the description.
Yeah.
And Yeah, you didn't have anything else to plug, right? Are you working on something now?
I'm working on anything right now. Yeah, I'm actually working on a song with with someone. It's gonna come out soon. His name is Noel Gil Pinedo, and he's a pretty good artist. He's a poet as well. So that's
Oh,
just a
Nice.
little sneak peek that's gonna come out soon. We're working on that right now.
Okay.
So that's pretty cool.
So then people should just follow you, and then they'll.
Yeah.
Yeah, if they follow me, eventually they'll see stuff popping up. Although now I'm not doing too much with music, but I'm gonna get back to it, of course, eventually. And start making more videos. I've already started making videos on Instagram, but I'll get to more of those.
Cool. Well, we look forward to that, especially. So,
Yes.
Right.
good luck with that.
Thank you very much, and thanks for having me.